and I'm gonna lift them down here. Ready?
No. Gosh, I can't.
Let it fall.
Ow! Why would I do that?
You're like a
You
rope?
guys say that we work well together, and sometimes we do, but sometimes it's just stressful. We're Riley and Courtney Casey. After traveling for 6 months in a truck camper we built ourselves, we fell in love with North Idaho and purchased 20 acres of raw, off-grid land. We spent the summer building our 30 by 40 barn dominium, and with the weather changing, we are pushing hard to get our building insulated, heated, and comfortable.
We made a quick trip to town and we picked up some equipment for the next big job.
It's about to get cold, and so we are pushing very hard to get this building fully insulated.
So our next task is to finish prepping the ceiling and getting ready to blow the insulation into the attic. It's not really a job that I'm looking forward to, but I am looking forward to being warm.
We are going to put the cameras down and we are going to hustle tonight to hopefully get everything prepped so that tomorrow we can bring you along for blowing in the insulation in our attic.
Stay tuned for tomorrow. The dogs are loving our new staircase, being able to hang out with us upstairs while we work. Definitely a big improvement. We probably should have done that a long time ago. It is an absolutely beautiful day out today. The sun is shining. I'm excited to get some more insulation up and finally get this building heated.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to insulate a building?
Heck yeah.
Right. The sun is out. Oh my gosh. It's a bluebird day.
Got a fresh new haircut, guys. Look how good I look. What?
We worked late last night and I think we have almost everything prepped for finishing our insulation today.
So hopefully by the end of the day, this big stack of blown behind us is up in the ceiling and we will finally be warm in here.
That would be, hands down, the most amazing Sunday ever. A few things we have to do before we can actually start blowing in the insulation. I need to finish insulating these exterior, interior walls on the perimeter so that the blow-in doesn't just fall down into the walls.
And before we bury all these walls with insulation, I'm going to diagram out what all the wiring up here in the apartment does so that we have fewer questions later on.
We're hoping to not have to run any of our plumbing in the exterior walls. That way we have way less of a concern about stuff freezing. So we're going to go ahead and put the insulation in the exterior walls, and worst case scenario, we may need to peel some of it back when we do our plumbing.
But our plan is for most of our plumbing to run it up through the floor or inside the interior walls, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But we also haven't really had enough time to even think about plumbing. Our minds have been laser focused on getting this building warm.
So we're kind of doing things a little bit out of order, but our biggest priority is having a warm space to work in, and if we have to redo some insulation later, that is not a big deal.
All right, enough talking. Let's get to work.
Internet. You told me to do it this way. Thanks, Internet! You were skeptical, but look at how much easier that was.
That looks pretty nice.
That's way better.
One of the things I love about Courtney is just how excited she gets about little things like an easier way to cut the insulation. So I got my electrical diagram done and I'm gonna suit up and help Courtney. I think it's time to race. I'm gonna start on this end, she's working on that end, we're gonna meet in the middle. Whoever gets to the bathroom first wins. Are you up for a race?
I like competitions. Usually I win.
These crazy suits might seem like overkill, but remember, we don't have running water here, so we take like super short showers in the camper, so we don't really have a way to get unitchy if we get the fiberglass on us. Better just to keep it off. Well, I just looked over and Courtney was working in the bathroom, which I think means that she won this competition.
What did I win? I know what I won.
What?
I don't have to go in the attic.
Woo!
That feels so good. All of the insulation is in our walls.
Which means that all the holes are plugged so the blowing's not gonna fall down into the wall cavities, and it's time to go up in the ceiling.
It is a warm day today. The sun is out, the snow is melting. It is beautiful.
And soon we'll have a warm building to admire it from. But until then, we cannot stop working. This opening behind me is going to be the access into our attic crawl space. And I'm adding these boards as baffles to hold our blow-in insulation in so we can go thicker than 6 inches with it.
The attic is prepped and it is time to blow the insulation in.
But first we have to haul the 200-pound machine up the stairs.
It's so heavy.
And then we get to see if our generator will power it.
It doesn't fit. That's not gonna work.
You're just gonna have to slide it up right here.
Oh my gosh.
Chunk.
I don't like
Lean
this.
over and you're gonna grab that.
What?
And I'm gonna lift from down here. Ready?
No. Oh my gosh. I can't walk backwards. I can't. This is so dangerous, right? I can't do this. I can't walk backwards while lifting up on something.
You don't really need to lift. You just need to help me guide. I'm to go up one step.
I can't.
I'm holding
It's
it.
falling on my leg. I
Let
can't.
it fall. Just let it fall.
Ow! Why would I do that?
I didn't know how much you were holding. You like a
You
rope?
guys say that we work well together, and sometimes we do, but sometimes it's just stressful. You're really. I think I'm gonna need to help you. Do not don't drop it. Let me help you.
You said you can't.
Well, I can kind of. I can do that. I was worried you were gonna push me off the stairs. Greg's gonna watch. Ah! Hold on. Oh gosh, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit!
I have to take the top off. It goes that way.
Okay. We're gonna get it down.
You guys saw it. She tried to push me off the stairs.
You didn't warn me that it's freaking hard in the cold.
I've never had that much trouble. This is exciting. I think you want to see this is threaded as if this is supposed to thread on. I came with 2 hose sections. This one has like a fitting on it. So this was Courtney's idea. I was reaching for the duct tape.
As usual, we have no idea what we're doing, but we did watch a few YouTube videos, including a video by Attic Cat, and so I think we're ready.
Pretty sure this equipment's maintained by the contractors that run it. Held with bubble gum and duct tape and a few zip ties.
This is just a test to see if the generator can power it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It worked!
We got okay insulation up here now.
Alright, now we're gonna suit up and get this done. It says on the machine that we can do an entire attic, 1,000 square feet, in less than an hour and a half. Do you guys think we can do it? Challenge accepted.
Let's do this.
I have to break it. Oh gosh, okay. I thought Riley was gonna have the hard job, but feeding these bags in is exhausting. Ugh.
Turns out I have the easy job. All I do is stand up here and point the gun. It's really easy. Another weird thing that I've noticed for me is that somehow with this plastic here, since I can't see down, I'm not afraid of heights at all up here. I could walk around anywhere without concern, even though I'm really the same height off the ground as I was when I was up on the roof doing the chimney install. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm filling in along these edges, and we're allowing the blown insulation to fall down into the gap back there inside our truss carrier to fully connect to the wall insulation, so we have that continuous insulation going on.
The seam for our 2 plastic sheets was right here, and totally our bad. We didn't reinforce it in any way, and it was starting to sag down right there. So Riley went up in the attic with the stapler to just reinforce it a little bit. Now we're back in action. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 bags left to go of the 20 bags. So we are 3/4 of the way done. That's it!
Alright! That was the perfect amount. We ran out right when I got to the end.
Really?
Yep. Dang, babe. I
Holy-
would like to get out of this dusty place.
Okay, come on down.
Alright.
That made a mess. But it looks so good. And our plastic seems to be holding fine.
Oh my gosh, what a mess down here.
Yeah.
Woo!
That kicked my butt.
That was pretty darn easy for me. Sorry, Courtney.
Feeding, I mean, it was 20 bags, but you have to cut them in half. So feeding 40 pieces into that machine, and like the video, they tell you it's going to auto feed. It does not auto feed. When you're going to laugh when you watch the footage. My entire body was in the machine for most of it.
On the video, it just goes and sucks the thing in.
No, it just kind of bounces around you. I had to like dive into the machine and push down. But our entire building is insulated.
That is amazing. So you know that moment we had when we turned around after scrambling to get the building sited and kind of went, now what? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I feel like right now. So much of our focus has been on getting this building insulated, and now it's insulated.
Oh, man.
So now what?
Bathroom? Kitchen? Bedroom?
We're going to have a home soon.
It feels so good to have this push done. I mean, it has been a chaotic couple of weeks. I'm just like, we are tired. I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
We're ready to slow the pace down a little bit, but continue making progress.
We ended up with R38 in the ceiling and R19 on our walls, and I think it should be good for what we want to do. We'll let you know if we're cold. I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are going to hustle to return this machine because then we won't have to pay for an extra day. If you're enjoying this series, the easiest way for you to show your support is just to make sure that you like the video and drop a comment. And we will see you guys next episode. We have no idea what we're working on. Maybe tell us below in the comments what you think the next project we should do is.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching.
We've been fully insulated for about a week now, and talk about a game changer.
It has been so nice to have a place that's at least not frozen to come inside during the day.
We wanted to touch on a few things that you guys have brought up in the comments of the last video. And again, we are figuring this out as we go. We're trying to ask questions, do our research. And so the first thing we wanted to touch on was vapor barriers.
We did a lot of research about vapor barriers, specifically about putting polyethylene film up on the walls before the drywall, which seems to be the most common way it's done in the United States. But we learned during that research that there's a possibility of creating issues where you're actually trapping moisture inside the wall when you do that, and it seems like it's more important that we block airflow into the wall cavity.
I'm going to link to an awesome video by Matt Reisinger that we watched. His content is awesome if you want to understand the science behind building and why things are done a certain way. And after doing our own research and watching his video, we decided that a plastic barrier on the walls and the ceiling of the apartment was not necessary.
Especially with the way that this post-frame building is constructed, where the wall cavity is open up through the truss carrier into the ceiling cavity, and our ceiling cavity is vented. There's a way that moisture that gets trapped in the wall has a potential for being able to evaporate up and out of the roof, especially during the summertime.
The short version of his video is that water diffusing through drywall for a whole winter is about a third of a quart. However, if you have air gaps, you're going to end up with gallons of water in your walls. So drywall actually is a really good vapor barrier when it's sealed properly.
And so there are paints that are specifically formulated for sealing vapor that we're planning on using on the interior of this apartment. And the other big one is that with that plastic film, it's nearly impossible to seal around electrical boxes. So rather than try to use a plastic film to seal out air, we're going to be air sealing all of our electrical boxes so that we have no gaps for air to get in from the inside of our apartment, where we have warm, moist air from cooking, into our walls and into our ceiling.
And then same thing with the ceiling. We want the ceiling to be able to breathe. And so if we put plastic up there, then any moisture that did get up there could get trapped. Instead, now we're going to try to prevent any air from getting up there, but if there is some, it can just vent straight out our vented roof ridge. Now, obviously, we're saying we didn't use plastic, and you can see plastic behind us. The shop bay is a different story. We're not going to be putting our wall treatments on it until probably spring at the soonest, and so we needed a way to block air movement.
Basically, all of the moist air from inside here, we didn't want, it would just pass right through that insulation and condense on those walls. So we're trying to stop that air from ever reaching those walls.
Until we put our wall treatment up, and at that point, that will be what's stopping the air.
I think the reality is that if you're in a climate where it's cold outside and warm inside, it's really difficult to solve this problem. And it seems like putting plastic up might actually hide the problem, not solve the problem.
So, again, I'll link to Matt's videos where he talks about this in detail. This is what we decided to do. We'll keep you posted if it doesn't work. All of that being said, we are battling some moisture issues, but it's not coming from us or our walls.
So, because we weren't able to pour a concrete slab, now we have a dirt floor, which effectively makes our entire building like a crawl space. So we have moisture evaporating out of the dirt into our building, and we basically just have super high humidity in here.
We picked up a dehumidifier and we're running that, and then we are working as quickly as we can to get all of our walls sealed up with drywall, but it's a bit humid in here.
So until we can get that concrete slab poured, we're going to be running that dehumidifier to try to keep the humidity levels down so we don't have moisture accumulating inside of our walls.
With that being said, there is a big storm coming in this weekend, and we are going to go mount the tracks on the Snowverlander.
Enough work, it's time to have some fun.